Today is Thursday, the 10th of December, and I'm Jimmy DiLiberto. I'm the Adventure Director at the Clark Sports Center, and I've been asked to share a few upcycling Christmas ornaments. So a few of them that I make every year to give out as gifts, because I go through components on my bike pretty quickly, tend to be chains and cassettes, and they make great little gifts. They take a little bit of time, but they're pretty quick, and oftentimes they don't require any tools much more than a chain tool like this, a pair of pliers, some pliable wire that you can twist. Twist ties also work, and some sort of decorative ribbon works really well. We're going to be using this a lot because, like I said, today's December 11th of 2020, and actually I'm in quarantine. So my quarantine is up on December 15th, so hopefully I'll see you then. But we're going to take a few minutes. I'm going to go through. So this is one of my favorites, and I think a lot of people really like these. Sometimes it's just a chain. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outer links, and that's what we use our chain tool for. We tend to just break the chain, and we'll do that in a second. Super easy one on that rear cassette that you've replaced if you save them. A little wreath. And again, I'm going as simple as I can, just using one ribbon. You can be really artistic with this. And then I love this one. It's a snowman. And normally out of a cassette you get maybe 2 or 3 of these, and they're pretty easy. Like I said, all I did was took 2 cassette rings, tied them together, tried to be a little artistic with what I had, and then the hanger for the tree, and that's it. And there you have a snowman. Pretty simple. The wreath, all I do is weave in between the holes on the cassette ring and tie it up into a little knot on the top, and voila, I have a great little wreath on my tree. So the star is really the hardest part of making these 3 ornaments, and I would say it's really not that too complicated if you're familiar with using a chain tool. And if you're not, this is a great practice for repairing your chain on the trail anyway. So take that old chain. I like to degrease it, so I'll run it under it. You could use household detergents like dish soap, and that's fine. Count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outer links. Take our chain tool, pop it in. When we get some tension, we're going to pop this thing through. You'll hear a pop. You don't want to push the pin all the way out though. So as you start to press the pin out, you're going to feel a little bit of resistance at the end. You want to stop yourself from going all the way through because we're going to link this chain together. So now that I have that guy, yeah, that's not going to work. I pushed that pin out just a little bit too far. So I'll have to do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You definitely want enough of the pin to stay in the chain, the outer ring, so that you can catch just a lip of the pin. See how I had to break that one apart? That's much better. And then when I'm putting it back in, I push on the flat end that doesn't have the pin in it, kind of pop that back in place. Now that's super sturdy. See how it's already linked? And line it up. You want to make sure that the chain sits in the chain tool nice and flat, so that these 2 pins, the push pin and the pin that actually holds the chain together, are both in line. If they're not, you're either going to mess your chain up, or you're going to wind up bending your chain tool pin, and then you'll have to replace that. So that's no good. We don't want that. We want to make sure that it sits in there nice and snug. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if this will pick it up or not. That's the pin where I broke it, and it's kind of frozen. Let's see, not too bad. Just a little frozen link right there. So you could take this thing and either twist it, and that'll loosen it. So then the next part of it is kind of getting that star shape. What I do is I work from that stiff end, and then I just push all of these underneath each other. And they all have to go in the same direction, right? So like, if I go and I try to just start moving these things, weird. They all have to be symmetrical, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So there's that guy, and that's great. So now we have our star. Awesome. Then the next part, Get your wire. Run your wire through the centers. Use your pliers to pull that wire through. Make it a lot easier for you. And I know it looks like a jumble mess, but trying to keep the folds of the chain correct is really important, because you don't want to get this together and then find yourself like not having an actual star when you tighten it up. That stinks. So I'm just going to kind of bend. I'm going to put a curve in my wire, and I'm going to kind of curve it and shoot it through the little hole there, because it gets a little tough after you get a few of these passes through, and where it kind of fights against you quite a bit. And then once you get that all together like so, it doesn't look like much, but as you start to pull on it a little bit, it'll start to take shape. And before I actually shape it back into the star again, I just give it a twist to lock it in place. And then I get my star shape again, and I just start to twist, and that kind of pulls it to where I want it to, back to the star. And then once I get to there, I fold the end of the wrap I was doing with the wire over and cut it. Otherwise, trying to cut it is pretty tricky. And now I have a star. So just finish it up. And ta-da! Now what you can do here, whatever you tie, make it pretty. I'm going to rewrap back on itself to kind of lock it in place. And I got my star. So there's 3 great Christmas ornaments. I have them on my tree, and I hope you enjoyed that, and maybe you can spread a little Christmas cheer with that, and hopefully we see you soon. Merry Christmas.